Hello there. This is Gold Derby editor Susan Wloszczyna, and Wanda Sykes has joined the ensemble of the third season of Mrs. Maisel and made it even better by playing a legend in comedy that maybe some people haven't heard of. But I would guess this was a great honor for you to portray her, because she's, she was one of a kind. I mean, she's basically the mother of Black comedians. Absolutely. And it set the standard. But, I just wonder, I'm old enough to have seen her and Ed Sullivan and the Smother Brothers and, all that. But did you see her while you were a kid?
Yes. I remember seeing her on the Smothers Brothers, Comedy Hour, Flip Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Ed Sullivan, laughing, so she definitely was, influential and just stood out for me. And I'm 100% sure that if it hadn't been for her, I would not be a stand-up comic. I wouldn't be doing this.
Right. And I of course went to Wikipedia to look up stuff about her, and I didn't realize she is the oldest person to have a top 40 hit, because she did in 1969 a version of Abraham, Martin, and John. She was 75. That is something. I mean, yeah. She worked from so many decades through, and still was relevant back in the 60s and 70s. So it was amazing. But now I think, when I saw it was you doing her, I thought you just nailed it. Because, I watched a couple clips again for this, and she just had this patter, this almost like it was like musical, the way her delivery was. And I don't know how much effort that took on your part to kind of, recreate that, what she did as a comedian.
Well, I was very familiar with her work, so I knew the cadence. I got that. I'd heard delivery and timing. But it's still you're playing this legend, and on the stage of the Apollo Theater.
Right.
So it was just it was intimidating. I'm like, okay. I was like, hey, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it. You just gotta just go for it. And like I said, I had the cadence, but it's just her mannerisms. And fortunately, I have all my teeth. She was toothless, so it was that thing too of trying to get my mouth and my her face is just so rubbery, and she could just do so many things with her face. So it was trying to capture all that with a mouthful of teeth.
Right. And I was, I figured they'd use the marquee in the Apollo, but they actually let the production, film in there, the real thing. And it was interesting, to see somebody play the Hines brothers too, like Gregory Hines.
Yeah.
I know him from White Nights and all that. So this show is like one of the best things ever to come around. So I always enjoy what the Palladinos stick in there for surprises and, recreating the era like that. But,
it really made it, easier, I guess, to play, because they set the scene. Here you are, you're at the Apollo, and everyone's dressed, from that era, and so it was like we walked back in time, and when they really are great with detail, and everything from wardrobe to makeup to, setting. And I've never been on production where they put that much into just background. It's a lot of people walking around on that set, but it's so just well organized, and they don't waste time. It wasn't a lot of sitting around. I was just very impressed, and was thrilled to be working with them.
Now, had you ever performed at the Apollo yourself?
Yes, it was when they had the Apollo.
That show on TV?
Yeah, they had a comedy hour. Yeah.
Right. I figured you made it there. So. But I did like the costumes on the show are like outrageous. I love that pineapple dress.
Yeah.
And the little hat and her shoes and all that. So, it just brought her to life in a wonderful way to, people who probably may not have heard of her before. But now, you and Mrs. Maisel don't quite get along. And she comes up to you like just crazy, right? And with no real respect. She doesn't even know what she's doing right then to someone like that. And I love your reactions, but I think you told me what that moment meant when they connect.
Well, yeah, it's they're in Mom's house, the Apollo Theater. That's her home. She's the queen there. She rules there, and to have this woman from nowhere, especially a white woman, come into the Apollo, and now she's headlining. She's like, wait a minute, I'm Moms Mabley, and now I'm opening for Miss Maisel. But I'm sure it's happened to her before, but just not at the Apollo. So It's like, okay, wait a minute, I put up with this crap out in the world, but now it's happening to me here in my home.
Mm-hmm.
So but I thought she was like, okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. The crowd will take care of this for you. You know what? Yeah, she'll get a taste of this Apollo audience, and they'll take care of it.
Well, it's almost she put a spell on her because her, upward trajectory of the season starts crumbling.
Right.
And everything starts falling apart. So you started that downfall. And she kind of had it coming.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But I do think that the Palladinos captured this era so well. That's something they do, but putting a little modern edge on it, and and they always cast so well. But what else could you add about how it felt to recreate someone that is so special to the history of comedy?
I've always wanted to do something about moms, and I know Whoopi did that great documentary on her, but and I also, it was always been my dream to either like play her or produce something just to get her story out there, and because she deserves it. She deserves more recognition than what she's getting when we talk about comedy, especially American comedy and African American comics. So to be able to play her and to be on that Apollo stage doing that, like I said, it was just a dream. I was living a dream.
Yeah. Now, nobody's really working now, so I don't know if you have any future things you're doing. You always do a lot of voice work, so
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we're about to start another voice project with something from Sean Hayes's company, and it's Sean Hayes also. He's going to voice the main character. But yeah, just I was in production on a Netflix show, The Upshaws. So we still have 7 more episodes to shoot when we're back up and going. So right now it's just been a lot of writing and notes from different scripts and everything. So that's pretty much what a lot of Zoom meetings.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a part of Mrs. Maisel. It just, for me, it was just a treat to see you do this, and hopefully you'll get recognition down the road for what you contributed. So, and thank you for showing up.
It took me a minute, but I made it.
All right. Well, take care.
Thank you so much, Susan. Appreciate it.
Okay.